Hello everybody, it's George Adam from dev.family, and in today's video I want to share with you our experience developing a loyalty program mobile applications. First, let's understand what is a loyalty program application. Loyalty programs are a way for companies to reward their loyal customers who have made the effort to purchase their products and services. It is a system whereby the company gives points or vouchers in return for purchases. The points can then be redeemed for discounts or gifts when the customer accumulates a certain number of points. If you decide to create a loyalty program application for your business, you need to understand what you need it for. Let me start with a quick story. We had one client who has around 100,000 plastic cards on him and a request to reissue them. So we came to a pretty easy decision. Developing a mobile application is 100 times cheaper than reissuing the old cards. This is, of course, an exceptional situation. Often the reason to develop a loyalty program appears when you have reached the following. You already gained the maximum size of your client base in a region and you can no longer grow it. You want to interact with your audience better and more personalized, or you want to increase the customer recurrence to the store and increase the average check. So if any of points above sounds like you, let's dive into how loyalty program works. The most popular way is when the size of the discount depends on the size of a customer purchases. Basically, the more you buy, the greater the size of the discounts you get, up to some ceiling, let's say 5 or 10%. You can offer a client either 5% of an instant discount or 6% but added to your bonus account. Thus, the size of the discount is larger, but it hangs on your account for some time and you can spend it later. Speaking about more complex systems, for example, for one of our clients, we made a loyalty program where the size of a discount in the current month depended on the amount of purchases made in the last month. The discount was also segmented by different product category and different product type. Not a very clear system as a first sight, so it was necessary to somehow convey this to the end client. And here we get to the next important point, user onboarding. Make a good and clear onboarding for the client. Tell him why he downloads the application, what he will receive, what he needs to do. At the same time, I will tell you that no matter how easy or complicated you make the loyalty program, you will never convey it to the client because they don't watch anything, they don't want to watch anything or interact with it. The example you were given is a complex loyalty program. It took us quite some time to explain how the system will work, but the customer didn't consider it corny, they saw the discount, and after they were satisfied. Let's discuss the next moment about how we will authorize the client at the checkout, how he can redeem his discount. Here, in fact, there are two big ways, a barcode and a QR code. It depends on what kind of equipment you have in the store. If your equipment can recognize your QR code, then accept the QR code. If not, we return to the barcode. So what's wrong with the barcode? A barcode can contain only one number, a numeric code. Often this is some kind of a sequential set of numbers, and potentially attackers can sequentially generate any barcode with any set of numbers and show it at the checkout. It's really not that safe. So here comes the QR code. In a QR code, we can encrypt much more information to protect our bonus program and our client. So, for example, in a QR code, most often we sew up some kind of client identifier and some kind of a secret word. And this secret word is known only to the application and to the scanner that is at the checkout. Those attackers cannot fake a QR code. A big plus of a QR code is its stylization. You can style it however you like. You can add it to the Apple Wallet so that the client always had the opportunity to quickly access it in their phone. And also an important point, make sure that your application works offline and with a weak internet. Often stores can be located in some new micro districts in basement where the internet simply doesn't work that well. But at the same time, do not forget that the most important function of your application, no matter how cool functionality you have there, is to show your identifier to the seller at the checkout. Open the app, showed it, closed it, moved on. Therefore, it is important to make it work offline and with a weak internet. You also add information about how your application will work in your offline shops, encourage customers to download it, tell them why you need it. It is in your best interest to get as many users online as possible so that you can make them interact with your application further. Running a loyalty program is very cool when you have a new business. When a new user registers, you simply give him a QR code and now he's in your database. And a ton of problems arise when a loyalty program is integrated into the established business. So, for example, we had a client who has about 300,000 plastic cards on their hands and we needed to transfer them into the mobile application somehow. The most obvious way was to identify them by phone number, but the current client database not always standardized and brought to a single format. For example, a phone number can start with +1, +7, someone entered the wrong phone number, and etc. etc. Also, a lot of vulnerabilities appear here in the form of an attempt to register under a different user or to get a card for another client or any other. In one of our previous projects, we came up with a rather interesting way of protection. If a client registers in a mobile application and tries to link some card that we could not identify or recognize, we offer him to take a short quiz and answer to the question, in which last store did he make a purchase? We show him 10 random stores where only the one is correct. After 2 incorrect attempts, we block this card for binding and send user to technical support or advice to the nearest store. The next big cool thing about the loyalty program is the family group. This feature seems pretty clear and easy, but nevertheless it has a lot of pitfalls. So, for example, a family group should be limited in number. Often we do not have more than 5 family members in a family group there. You also need to understand, for example, what happens if I already joined the loyalty program from my device and have my own card and someone invites me to a family group. What will happen to my old loyalty program? Will my points be combined, or will they be transferred to a new account, or they will simply burn out? The same if I leave the family group, what will happen? What will happen to my accumulated points? Who has the right to remove users from a family group? A cool thing is to propose some personalized offers around the birthday. We calculate the birthday discount for all members of a family group or only to the owner of a family group. These are many more questions you will have to decide before joining a family group. But keep in mind that it is not as easy as it sounds at the start to create your own family group. However, in our projects, we often create a family group. Let's talk about notifications now. Besides the fact that you need to have notifications in your app, we advise you to make a notification about every single purchase completion for every user. For example, if I make a purchase in a store, I immediately receive a push notification telling me how my bonus balance has changed, how many new bonuses I've got, how it will affect other of my purchases. Here, an important thing: segment the notifications and let the user customize them. Never send notification that you have promotion in some specific store to everyone. Maybe I live in another part of town, maybe I disliked this exact store in the past, or maybe I don't want to be notified at all. Like, determine and segment users who most often goes to this store and buys some product, and send your notifications in a very targeted and segmented way. The actual determination of your intended audience who you need to send the notifications to can be made through its purchase history, and definitely you need to allow your users itself see their purchase history. This section also must be smart and clean. I can show you how the purchase history looks like on an example. Here, after each purchase, I understand how much I spent, what was in the purchase, what is the size of the discount, and my bonus accruals. Let's try to figure out how else you can expand your application with a loyalty program. You should communicate with your client and collect feedback inside of your loyalty program. For example, in one of the applications we made an extended feedback system, where each client can evaluate his trip to the store according to several criteria. How did he like the store itself, how did he like the employee that been working with him, and his opinion on each product he purchased in a cart. All this information is collected into one large database, and if we're a large network, we can understand if we have any problems on any specific place. For example, we can see if there are constant bad reviews for some specific store or employee, plus we can quickly see the reaction to some specific product and understand this is something wrong over there and urgently remove it from the counter or maybe change the product. It is also important for the owners of the bonus program to build a good support system that can quickly respond to reviews like that. So we came to the next big topic that can be added to your loyalty program. It's your own support system, yes. You need to somehow communicate with the customers. It can be a full-fledged support system where users choose a specific order, a problem, and rate the answer. Or you can develop something very simple, like some kind of a messenger chat, where the client can simply send messages and photos in one place. But don't forget, it's all possible to develop, it's all great, but you need to have a person who will be responsible for this, who can quickly help your clients. Today we have touched some cool features you can add to your loyalty program. The last thing I want to highlight in the conclusion, some cool nice to have features. Make a section that shows your nearby stores, show how you can get to them or even build a route inside of the app, their opening hours, contacts, show your assortment, catalog in other words, add an ability to book a specific item, pick it up by yourself or make a delivery. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Thanks a lot for your attention. Soon we'll be releasing a whole series of educational videos about our experience in the food tech industry. Bye everyone.